There's a legend in the small town of Valentine's Bluff that 20 years ago, a group of miners were left abandoned in the shafts when their supervisors dipped away for a Valentine's Day party. There was a methane gas explosion and a cave-in. There was only one survivor, Harry Warden, who had to resort to cannibalism while the rescue team spent weeks trying to get him out. The following year, he took his revenge on those two supervisors, ripping their hearts out, putting them in decorative Valentine's Day candy boxes, and he threatens the town to never host another Valentine's Day dance again, or he'll return. Despite the fact that Harry was sent to an asylum, and there hasn't been an incident in all this time, the town never celebrated the holiday again. That is, until now. The town is hosting a Valentine's Day dance. They decorate the entire town, and all the young couples are excited. But now, one after another, people are getting slaughtered, and the mayor is receiving candy boxes with threats to cancel the event. But the mayor doesn't want to start a panic, so he covers it up and cancels the dance. So all the young mine workers decide to host their own party in secret, in the one place they won't get caught, in the mine. Following the massive success of slashers like Black Christmas, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Prom Night, Paramount wanted to release a holiday slasher just in time for Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, My Bloody Valentine was a box office disappointment. But since its release, it's gained a massive cult following. It's possible the movie could have done better, had it not been cut to ribbons by the MPAA. All of the violence was heavily censored, which is a surefire way to ruin a slasher flick. Nearly 30 years later, an uncut version was finally released, coinciding with the 3D remake. Then a decade after that, Shout Factory did a full restoration. Despite some footage still being lost, it's easily the most definitive version of this movie. So, after all this time, is My Bloody Valentine still worth celebrating? In my opinion, absolutely. First off, I like the atmosphere. This small, sleepy town is clearly haunted by the memory of Harry Warden. The elders are all superstitious, and there's this disconnect with the youth. They just want to party and have sex. But I actually like all the characters. For the most part, they're generic slasher victims. You have your typical assholes and jokers and idiots, but nobody comes off as overly annoying or frustrating. The worst behaved characters in the movie are actually the main characters, due to this being a love triangle. So at least there's justification for their attitude. But unlike other horror movies of the time, My Bloody Valentine never feels like a slog. There's a nice, steady pace throughout. There's a solid balance of story, drama, and violence, until it really ramps up in the second half, as we shift away from the party and delve deep into the mines. Which, by the way, is an excellent horror movie location, and the villain is dressed for the occasion. If I have one criticism of the movie, it's that we learn at the very end that Harry has been dead for years. This information would have been better served about an hour in, so instead of fearing a faceless killer, we would have been suspicious of which character is actually the one, and what exactly motivates them. Instead, at the very end, we're hit with the shock of the identity of the killer, and then they promptly explain that Harry is dead, and why the real killer is doing this. It's a twist ending, but without any proper build-up. It's just surprising instead of being effective. But this isn't really a detriment to the movie. It's just a missed opportunity. The movie is a ton of fun. It's charming. It's bloody. And it's a perfect date night watch for Valentine's Day.
In this little town, when the 14th comes a silence and fear in the air. Remember the morn that the legend was born. All the shock and the horror was there. Oh, the legend, they say, on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on and